Welcome back. Today is Wednesday, July 23rd, 2025. I'm Sweets. This is Sid, and this is the daily Recoup check-in. Today's Wednesday, so we're going to cover midweek what we've been shipping. On my side, this week is full of meetings with musicians from last week where we wanted devs to be getting end-to-end working on goals. So for this week, I've already had a meeting with Duo Do and with Societe. Duo Do, we were able for both of them to get segments set up as well as scheduled actions set up related to those segments. So those should be increasing the numbers that are displayed on the founder's dashboard. For Duo Do, the feedback that I got is that Apple Music does not work. They were trying to set Apple Music in their artist profile, but we don't use that or store that. I recommend we get rid of that altogether or replace it with Farcaster. Their other feedback was the most important platform for them is Farcaster. I agree that Farcaster is a very important platform, and being able to add that in is going to help a lot of artists that I actively work with. On Societe's side, we were also able to get segments set up for her. On her side, she had not created or used Recoup in the past. So for her, when she had logged in, she tried to click the new chat button. And when you just land on the chat screen does not automatically run the new create new artist funnel. And so I don't know if we want that. Part of me thinks we leave it as is in case we don't want to throw people automatically into the create new artist thing. But I was a little confused when she landed on that page and it did not auto run. We were able to fix it by she clicked the logo, and when she landed on the home page, it worked. So maybe now I just need to know, and I'm communicating it so that you also know, the create artist automated chat only happens on the root page. It does not happen on /chat. Virval renamed segments to fan groups. I'm a little concerned that might throw off the numbers if we are only checking for segments in the prompts for how we're measuring success. So we might need to update that query to include fans or fan groups as well to be able to accurately measure the number of scheduled actions segments scheduled actions that are made. She also had mentioned she would like to be able to add specific social profiles into a segment. So for example, her Web3 community, she wants to be able to give a specific Instagram account and then say, add this person to this segment, and to be able to do more manual management of the segments that she's creating. And she had also said in the create artist flow, ending that with what's your goal. Right now it ends with YouTube. And I'm manually asking each musician. I'm about to go into another call with a musician in 10 minutes. And I'm going to manually ask them before the call, what is your goal? And then that's something that I then prompt them for and they use to then generate the segments. But it might be, Sol had mentioned that it would be good to ask the human that automatically right off the bat. That way Recoup is aware of what the goal is that the human is working towards. And finally, she had mentioned two chats. One is the work zone, which is what we already have, and two being one off to the side. And her theory behind it was one is talking about the person behind the screen, the person that's typing, Sam from Warner Music, Steph from 1RPM, me. And then the work zone is for the specific artist. And so that way, the smaller chat on the right might be asking me, what is your goal? And I'm saying, my goal is to manage artists. My goal is to help musicians get paid, yada, yada, yada. Me, the human, which is different from the active artist. And so you're kind of building two different chats that one is focused on me, the person behind the screen, and the other is focused on the active artist. Other than that, today I have a call with a musician that I have not met before named Grotesca, also Spanish speaking. And so that is in 9 minutes. Other than that, I've been working on migrating the chat from V4 to V5. The overall goal is to fix the rate limiting errors that we're getting from using Anthropic. I've tried using Gemini 2.5 and I have not been able to get reasoning text to show up. Same thing with OpenAI's O3 and O4 mini. So instead of trying to figure out how to get those to work, I've been updating all of the day yesterday. I spent updating from V4 to V5. It's finally deploying, but now when you try to go onto it, it crashes from some of the changes that I made. So I'm trying to get it into a stable place so that I can share it with y'all. I will likely have time to do that tomorrow. And then, so hopefully tomorrow I'm able to get V5 in a good place. That way We probably won't do a shipment on Friday, but get it ready tomorrow. That way, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we can test the new branch. And if we're confident with the V5 migration, Monday that is coming, we ship V5 as a new stable foundation where we can use gateways, switch up the model, and whatever we need to do. Any feedback on what I have specifically done so far, or otherwise, do you want to jump into your side, Sid?
I'll jump into my side. That was awesome. I'm glad you're talking to customers. It's always nice to talk to humans, you know. All right, I'll jump into my side. We shipped. I updated the founder admin to fix this. I thought I did, but then you said that you added somebody else. Is the person on here that you added? I see Duo now, but is the
Yep,
other
I see Duodo and Broxillion, which are both new names that I was surprised about.
Perfect. So these are the two that
It
you
looks
know.
like we're missing other names, though, that were there before, maybe.
Names that were there before. I was not filtering by expired YouTube tokens. So the ones that were there. Wait, say again.
Why are you filtering on expired?
Because if they're expired, that means that they're not connected anymore, right? Or they have
If
to
it's
reconnect.
expired, that just means that the Recoup AI agent needs to refresh that token to get a newer token. It already has everything it needs to refresh it for a more active token.
The person won't have to reconnect it?
No.
Okay, great. Okay, so I'll put them back then.
So this number is going to be even higher.
Yeah, this number will be higher then. It'll include everybody expired tokens as well. But I fixed this, so now it's the issue is there was an error with connecting to emails. So that is fixed. What else did I do?
Who has two?
Misimo.
Mighty Max. Okay,
Mighty Max.
Nice.
You know him as Maximo. He has two kids. He's in Web3. Cool. Anyways, I had a meeting with him and set it up with him. I'm still waiting on Seth to hit me back. I also added, where are we? I added this
a video
to the homepage.
Nice.
And
look at that demo.
It's a demo that like goes through each feature like that.
Wow, you've got a bunch of videos in there.
No, it's all the same video. It's just it fast forwards to like the part where I talk about.
Okay.
So I'm still working on that, but I think this is like a much better version. And then I added you can't see it because of this thing, but
you can click. Oh, there you go.
Nice. Privacy policy and terms.
And those are just the same text that we have on the other site.
Yep.
Perfect.
So we are good on that.
Perfect.
And then real quick while I'm here, let's go last 7 days. Let's just see where we're at. Product market fit has been going up and down. Power users I have not changed the power users. I still have to do that. But Mighty Max is up. Eric's still up. He sent a bunch of great feedback over the weekend. He's gone for 2 weeks. But I think this is something once we migrate to V5 and kind of get out of the API error rate limit situation going on. Clearer skies will give us some time to go through what his feedback was. But I wanted to show you something. Where was it? It's just like a new list, which I thought was really cool. Like a lot of names that I haven't seen on here.
Ryan from yesterday.
Ryan Schmidt is now trying it again. That was somebody from the Recoup early access group on Instagram when
I think Mighty Max was the one who gave that comment, that testimonial.
No, that was where is he? He's on here. That was where is he? Zach at Magic. Yeah. So Zach has a bunch of scheduled actions, but they're all the same. So that's something that we got to think through as well. I don't know if that's like an accident on his part or not. But anyways, we're doing pretty good on users and new users coming in and scheduled actions and everything. We can click here and see who has scheduled actions. Oh, this is for this week. Let's go this last 12 months. That doesn't make any sense. Let me do 3 months. I don't know why this isn't saying 0. I gotta fix that. Here we go though.
Nice.
So, yeah,
Sol and Duodo are included in there. So my 2 meetings have made an impact and they're showing up in the results, which is good.
Yeah, which is great. And then Patrick, Sam, and Benji are here, which is great too. So, and I don't know if you saw the text that I sent you.
Which platform?
So I set up, it was on Slack. I set up scheduled actions for Benji a month ago, and he keeps forwarding them to his team. And then finally he was like, my team keeps asking how do they get set up with Recoup because I keep sending them these emails that I keep getting. And he was like, just tell me the price and I'll set them up, because he's like the CEO of the company. So it was like perfect example of just send a bunch of emails through scheduled actions to remind him. He keeps forwarding them to his team. And then eventually they're like, all right, man, how do we get this thing? Like, so it worked in that sense. So I have a meeting with them tomorrow to set up the rest of their team. So I thought that was awesome.
They're
And
good
then,
on the pricing model? Or is that tomorrow's call?
That's tomorrow's call, but I'm going to keep it. We got to think about price. I think that's the next thing we got to think about once we get out of this, once we get V5 going, is credits and what are the limits of the free tier versus going into a pro tier versus an enterprise, because these Apify calls and Anthropic charges are starting to kill me. Yeah, so like starting to group it in like, all right, like you get a free trial and you can use it to a point, but like if you're setting up 20 scheduled actions, like, you know, we need to figure out what the costs are for that.
Mm-hmm. Other things I was thinking through is I'm not too happy with the performance of Gemini 2.5, but it is incredibly cheaper. And so potentially if you're not paying, you get Gemini because it saves us money. And if you're paying, like the model that you have access to changes based off of whether or not you're paying. There's a whole bunch of knobs that we could be tweaking. And if you're starting to get weighed down on price and what we're burning as a company, let's definitely start getting people to pay, because
people to pay
because people are getting used to this.
Yeah, and I think we're starting to get to that place where like free trials dope, but like where's that paywall, and like what are people willing to pay, and what that price? What is that price? So yeah. All right, cool. But I know it's 2:00. I have another thing. So great checkup. Go do your thing, and we'll touch base Friday.
Thank you everyone for tuning in. Back on Friday. Everything just flashed across the screen for some reason. Leave a comment down below, repost this, give it a like, subscribe so you can stay in contact and keep joining us for